What is up, guys? Stark here. I am back for another Fate video, and in today's video it's going to be a quick one, but we are going to continue the tradition of the 25 days of Fate. And I did save this video specifically for today because I knew I'd get out of work really late, so I just wanted to go in here and get this video out of the way. Essentially, this video is just going to be me talking. I'm going to talk about some features that I'd like to see in the game, and I'd also go ahead and talk about my New Year's resolution while farming some boxes in the lottery event going on right now in the game. So yeah, first up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the features I'd like to see in the game. Not specifically in any order or anything like that, but just some things that I'd really like to see added to the game. Nothing outside of the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Just something, just like small quality of life things. There is one really big one that I would really like to see, but I am also curious to know what kind of features you guys would like to see in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of them. There's a couple that I really want to see, and there's also a couple that just people generally want, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit and kind of give my thoughts and opinions about them. And those are the ones I'm going to start with. So the first one I'm going to talk about is auto battling, and my opinion on auto battling. Me personally, I do not want auto battling in Fate. I think it would be a terrible idea. I kind of feel like it would just kind of kill the game. The game is really grindy and really farming heavy, and having an auto battle feature seems really nice in concept, but then like with the actual execution of it, I feel like, first of all, I think it'd be very difficult to do. They'd have to kind of come up with a way to allow us to use certain skills on certain turns and noble phantasms on certain stages. And I feel like, I don't know anything about coding really, but I feel like that might be a little too complex to just even be worth the trouble of putting auto battling in. Another thing is that it kind of just makes the game automated, and I really don't have any sort of enjoyment out of that. When I'm playing a game, I want to play the game. I don't want to log into the game and just let the game play for itself. So auto battling essentially does that. You just log into the game and just let it go, and then basically you're not even playing the game, you're just logging in and letting a mechanic just run the game for you. I feel like that'll take a lot of the enjoyment out of the game for a lot of people, myself included. So I really hope that they don't include that in there. There is an alternative that I thought of that they could potentially put instead, and that'll be skip tickets, right? So a lot of games do have skip tickets as well, where it'll consume the stamina and just basically do the mission for you, but you just get the rewards. So it's not actually like playing the mission, you're just kind of burning your stamina. Now this, I feel like, should be limited only to like daily quests and maybe like quests that you've already completed. But I feel like this will be a little bit better than autoplay because, you know, for new content you're still going to have to play it. For like events, you're still going to have to play those events and grind those events. But maybe for like lottery events and like the daily embers and stuff like that, you could just log in and use your tickets and then get those rewards. You know, not necessarily takes all the playing out of the game, but still kind of gives you guys what you're looking for with the ability to just quickly burn your AP. I'm still not big on the idea, but if we're gonna get some sort of like automated like system, I'd rather see skip tickets than the actual auto battling feature. Although I wouldn't mind if we had like a 3x speed for the animations, like a little bit of a faster animation speed. I guess that could be like an entirely separate like concept, but I wouldn't mind necessarily if the attacks are a little bit faster. And I feel like JP actually has something like that where it's a little bit faster, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's just the way it runs on my system. Alright, so the next one is going to be the like pity system, right? Again, I don't really agree with a pity system. It's nice. Obviously, I wouldn't complain. I'll save a lot of money if there's a pity system in the game. But at the same time, I do feel like a lot of revenue and money will be lost if Fate does decide to go that route, which I don't think they will. But I would be against it unless it was like a really high number, maybe like 30 multis or something like crazy. It would be nice just because then I know what I'm rolling for and I know exactly how many I need to do, how much money I would need to set aside specifically for every banner to make sure that I get every character. And that would be great for me as a content creator, as a person who spends a lot of money on the game. Having a pity system would be fantastic for me. And if there is ever a pity system in the game, I probably wouldn't complain about it. I guess depending on the actual specifics of it, but it's not something that I want to see. You know, it's nice in concept, but I don't know why. I just don't really like it. Like I feel like Fate doesn't need it. They make plenty of money. I don't think it's something they're going to consider doing. Maybe what they could do is they could, like, every time you roll for like a 5-star character, you get like a currency, and kind of like the ones you get where if you get like more than 5 of the same 5-star servant, you get, I don't even know what they're called. I've never got one before. But something more universal than that. Anytime you pull like a 5-star character, you get a smaller amount of currency, and they just open it up. So instead of getting dupes, it's anytime you get, or maybe if it's just dupes in general, you know, cut it down from your 6th copy, and if you get you know, your 2nd copy of a character, then you get the item, and then you could use that to trade in for 5-star characters in the shop. Maybe that would be a little bit more of an easier way of like a pity system, so to speak. You're still getting rewarded for pulling dupe characters, but you don't have to go out of your way to pull 6 of the same character in order to get that extra servant. And it's not necessarily going to give you like a pity system. It'll just help you kind of get some of the servants that you don't already have. Alright, another one. This one is another heavily requested feature, and this one I guess can kind of make my list because I wouldn't really mind it either way. Noble Phantasm skipping. In my opinion, I don't really see the issue with having the Noble Phantasms play, but at the same time, I definitely could see the benefits of being able to skip the Noble Phantasms, because it saves time, and if you're really trying to farm a lot of a mission or something, you're going to want to skip those Noble Phantasms, because some of them are pretty lengthy. So being able to skip it will just make your teams go faster, and your wave clearing times go faster, meaning you can get more runs in for like lottery events, which we're doing right now. You could definitely get more runs out because of that. So not necessarily against it, but not necessarily for it either, but that's one of those things where, like, I wouldn't have any complaints at all if they did bring it in to the game. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about some of the features that I really do want to see in the game. And first up is going to be to have double EXP for banner servants. Now this isn't really a feature, I guess. It's just something that I wish that Fate would do. And I don't see why they didn't. Like, they've kind of started to with like welfare servants having double EXP while there are events going on. So I just don't see why they can't do double EXP for servants that are on raid up banners at that point in time. It'll make leveling up servants a lot easier, and there's so many servants in the game right now, so a lot of people do have servants that they want to level up, and just having those banner servants available to be leveled up a little bit easier, I think would be a really cool thing. You know, you spend all this quartz to pull for the servants, and then just go ahead and, you know, level them up while their banner's out and actually use them. I have a lot of servants in my box that are just sitting there that I pulled for that are on level 1, and I never get a chance to really use them. So having them at double EXP for their banner duration would definitely at least get me to level them up and to kind of, like, you know, get my feet wet with using those characters. So I do think that's really something that is really easy to put into the game, and I think it'll be a really cool addition, and will definitely help out Masters, in my opinion. Next up, another really cool one, in my opinion, would be like run an event where there's like half cost for skill leveling up. I'm pretty sure they've done it in the past where you have reduced cost for enhancing characters, so it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to reduce the cost for leveling up skills. This is a really cool thing, in my opinion. Being able to reduce the cost. Is really expensive to level up skills for servants, especially if you want to max 10 them. And having, like, you know, like a week for special events where skill costing is half QP, or it doesn't even have to be half, just reduced QP would be really cool. It'd be really easy to conserve more QP for that, because pretty much you could level up like 3 or 4 servants, and then you're kind of in QP hell, and then you have to like just keep grinding and going back. So being able to have that little bit of time to just have a reduction in QP skills, get more servants leveled up, which means you can use more servants and enjoy the game just a little bit more. I think that'd be a really cool feature as well. Next up is a really simple one. You know, we are having a lottery event going on right now, so I do think it's very appropriate to talk about this. Having the ability to just open up all of your tickets at once, presumably, like just open up the entire box all at once, instead of just you know, doing whatever it is at like 10 at a time or something like that. Just being able to go in there and just grind out for all of the tickets at once for the box, I think would be a really cool thing. Definitely save a lot of time. It would save a lot of clicking. You just go in there and you just open all and go ahead and open up the entire box all at one shot, and then you can go ahead and reset it and go into the next box. I think that would be a huge quality of life update, in my opinion. Definitely feel like it's something that they need to add to the game, especially with so many people farming like thousands of boxes. Well, maybe not a lot of people, but hundreds of boxes. That's a little bit of a better example. But there's a lot of people that farm a lot of boxes, and then they just have to sit there and click and open and open and open and open. So it'd be really convenient and really effective, in my opinion, for them to add the auto box opening, or just a button that opens up the entire box all at once, as opposed to just rolling for, I believe it's like 10 or 20 or whatever it is at one time. And then the final feature that I'd really like to see added into the game is the ability to replay story mode and like previous quests that you're not able to play anymore in the game. I really don't understand why you can't do this. It just really makes no sense to me at all that you can't go back and replay story mode. I mean, as a content creator, that really sucks, not being able to like go back and replay missions and just use different team compositions and stuff like that. I think that'd be really fun to be able to go back and do some of the other quests and just try out different teams. You know, maybe go through and just try like a free-to-play, like go through the story with free-to-play teams, or like one-star servants, or something. There's so many different possibilities and things like that. It gives you the game a lot more replayability, and I know you can go back and read the story, but it would be cool to be able to just go back and replay the whole thing and just like redo the quests over and over again. Like you don't even have to give rewards for it. Just put it out there for us to be able to go back and replay some of those missions, because you know, if you want to do something like that, and it only is there for that one time, once you beat the quest, that's it. So if you want to try a different team or something, you have to like quit out of the mission and go back in without actually successfully completing it. And there are a couple quests that you can go ahead and replay for certain events, but on the whole, it'd just be really good to be able to just go back and replay like main quests. That's kind of what I want to be, just the ability to go back and replay main quests. That would be really cool. I think that's actually like one of the things I want to see the most in the game. And I know a lot of my wishes are like really like minor things. I think the story mode thing's probably the biggest thing. But I really do enjoy the game the way it is right now, and I don't want to see too many drastic changes. The only other thing I guess I could really point out is the Grailfront wars. I really do like those, and I would definitely like to see a few more of those come around more often in the game. But yeah, those are some of the features that I would like to see in the game. I kind of been rambling for a little bit longer than I was expecting, so as far as my New Year's resolutions go, really there's not a whole lot here. My main goal is to level up every servant that I do have in my box to max level, and then I can start working on the skills. That's pretty much the only priority I have as far as game goes. Obviously, I want to recruit every character in the game, but I don't think that's possible this year. I think I do have to put a little bit more effort into some of the other banners and make sure that I can pull for some next year as well. But maybe next year, that'll be one of my goals next year, to be able to get all the characters, assuming this year goes well. The only other New Year's resolution I have is to just try and put out more content. I really suck at it being consistent as far as content goes, and I know that's primarily due to my job, and you know, I'm really busy and I don't have a good schedule, but I'm gonna try really hard to keep up with the content this year. I know December I always go really hard with the 25 Days of Fate, but then I kind of burned myself out and never really get back into it. So this year I'm going to try really hard to be a little bit more consistent with both the streaming and the videos, and hopefully you guys are here for the ride and enjoy it. Because I still love the game. I still like making videos and all that. It's just for me, it's just a time issue, and you know, I keep myself around a lot because of it. But definitely gonna try a lot harder this year to keep the videos and content coming. So hopefully you guys do enjoy it. And if you did enjoy this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I do have the links below to my Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. So feel free to check those out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode of the 25 Days of Fate.